Welcome to the Abnormal Operation module of the A320 RNP AR e-learning. This is the 9th module out of 10 and quite a short but vitally important module. In this module we will discuss some SOPs for abnormal operations. Our objectives are to cover loss of RNP AR capability due to 1. Guidance issues, 2. Navigation issues, 3. System failures, and 4. Also to cover engine failure during approach and on takeoff. In normal operations, the LDEV and VDEV should be 0. In case of a deviation, the pilot monitoring must make the appropriate call-out. LAT-DEV, when the lateral deviation reaches half dot. VDEV, when the vertical deviation reaches half dot. 50 feet. An increasing LDEV may result from an excessive ground speed due to tailwind, or during engine out acceleration in an RF leg. In case of excessive IAS, it shall be reduced to a value appropriate for the position in the procedure. In case the speed is correct, the pilot flying shall analyse the aircraft and guidance behaviour, and if necessary take over manually and zero the LDEV deviation. When the lateral or vertical deviation approaches the operational limit, cross-track equal to the RNP value or vertical deviation 3/4 dot, the pilot flying must take action. During a RNP AR approach, a go-around must be initiated. During a missed approach or departure, the flight crew must analyse the situation and decide to stay on the current RNP AR trajectory with degraded navigation performance, or to revert to an alternative non-RNP trajectory or contingency procedure, which will be explained later. GPS is the primary navigation sensor used in RNP AR operations. In case GPS primary lost is displayed on only one FMS, navigation shall be coupled to the remaining healthy FMS. RNP AR operation shall not be initiated in this configuration. In the unlikely event of loss of GPS navigation, either due to a total loss of the GPS sensors or loss of the GPS signal, the FMS still provides accurate navigation based primarily on inertial data, coasting. In such case, an RNP AR approach shall not be continued, and reverting to a non-RNP AR procedure is recommended when available. However, FMS navigation can still be used for missed approach or departure procedures as providing the best available guidance. The EPE can provide useful information on the actual navigation accuracy of the aircraft. Failures affecting navigation are associated with dedicated alerts in the cockpit. For lateral guidance, the last 3 alerts highlight a serious issue with the navigation capability of the aircraft, which is too complex to analyse, especially on final approach. Therefore, the crew should immediately initiate a company-approved contingency procedure. For vertical guidance, RNP AR approach operations are based on Barrow VNav. If nav-alt discrepancy is displayed on the ECAM, or if a difference of altitude and/or VDEV is noticed, do not start the RNP-AR approach or perform a go-around. In case of total loss of GPS signal or failure of both GPS receivers, the FMGC will only use the IRS data for position calculation. This is called coasting. It is only after around 7 minutes, when the integrity limit of 2 times RNP is reached, that the flight crew is advised with the amber GPS primary lost message on the ND. Note, the accuracy is still fine until it reaches the accuracy limit of 1 times RNP. The flight crew is advised by the amber nav occur downgrade message on the ND and on the scratch pad. More information on coasting can be found in the ACD and the Airbus Getting to Grips document. So, we can now consider what course of action we should take when we have system failures. Guidance on this topic can be found here in the FCOM. The management of degraded navigation should be an integral part of the approach briefing. The approach may be continued in case of a single system failure. For example, GPS, FMGS, EFIS-DU, MCDU, or AP. The approach must be discontinued in the following dual system failure cases: dual GPS primary lost, dual nav occur downgrade, dual loss of FMGC or dual loss of final APP mode. Dual AP failure if procedure is RNP less than 0.3 nautical miles. Final APP does not engage. FM, GPS, POS disagree. FMS1, FMS2, POS diff. Loss of GPWS terrain function. Inconsistency between aircraft position and terrain data. And nav-alt discrepancy. In complex or very remote failures, such as a dual FMGC failure or total loss of FCU, the RNP-AR capability is lost and the flight crew has to revert to a contingency procedure. This contingency procedure must be defined by the operator and can be generic or specific for a certain procedure. Examples of contingency procedures are requesting radar vectors from air traffic control, if available, using backup navigation, using backup tuning by using the RNP panels to tune specific nav aids, flying a specific heading until above MSA, using the terrain on ND by flying the black until above MSA. On the following slides, we will discuss engine failure at different stages during an RNP-AR procedure. We will look at engine failures before the DP, after the DP, and during approach. Before takeoff, the crew shall identify the diversion points corresponding to the SID entered in the FMS. Note, several DPs may exist in case of multiple SIDs. In case of an engine failure before the DP, the crew's priorities shall be 1. Fly. 2. Navigate. Before the diversion point, activate engine out SID via automatic temporary flight plan or via secondary flight plan activation. And 3. Communicate. Consider using toga, limited to 10 minutes. If an engine failure occurs at or after the diversion point, the SID shall be followed. Note, the obstacle clearance along the remaining part of the SID should have been verified in the respective performance studies. If an engine failure occurs during the approach, the use of final APP together with the AP might be restricted depending on aircraft type or modification. For RNP values below 0.3, the AP is required. Refer to the FCOM limitations section. Note, the approach may be flown manually if the RNP value is 0.3. We have now finished discussing some SOPs for abnormal conditions. Our objectives were to cover loss of RNP AR capability due to guidance, navigation, or system failures, and engine failure during approach and on takeoff.